So good day everyone. Today we will discuss about the global market integrations, and for your information, this is for an educational use only. Our group is allowing our instructor, Mr. Roldan Ardinas, to use this as an educational material. So first we have learning objectives. Our learning objectives at the end of the class, we may able to know the meaning, definitions, and explanations of global market integrations. The next one is types of market integrations, examples of market integration, effect of market integrations, advantages and disadvantages, the reasons of market integrations, degree of market integrations, measurement of market integrations, global interstate system, and the last one is international civilizations. And these are the introduction. One of the key features of global financial market integration is that wherever you happen to be established, entities are able to offer financial services in other jurisdictions on terms similar to those enjoyed by domestic market participants. The degree of integration could be measured in terms of, for instance, an instance of cross-border financial flows or the market quota of foreign entities in domestic markets. Market integrations provides a number of social benefits, including broadening the range of financial services and investment opportunities available to consumers and increasing competition in the provision of those services. In addition, integrated financial markets acts a private risk sharing mechanism that facilitate the smoothing of the of economic. Moreover, marketing integration enables greater risk diversification, thereby contributing to more effective risk management and to be financial stability. Before we dig deeper into knowing what global integration is, all of the necessary information we have to learn about it. Let us first know what integrations means. According to Albrecht Coster, integration is a state of affairs or a process involving attempts to combine separately national economies into a large economic regions. Market integration, on the other hand, is a process which refers to an expansion of firms by consolidating additional market functions and activities under a single management. Global market integrations. According to Cambridge Business English Dictionary, market integration is a situation in which separate markets for the same product become a single market. The market is said to be integrated when at a group of prices obtain more proportionally to each other that is clear among different markets. Thus, global market integration is an indicator that explains how much different are related to each other. And again, I am Engine Cadet Marin Marinos and hope you learned something. Thank you.
What is market integration in globalization? It is said that the market integration occurs when price among different locations or related goods follow similar pattern over a long period of time. Group of goods often move proportionally to each other, and when this relation is very clear among different markets, it is said that the markets are integrated in globalization. Let's talk about the types of market integration. Horizontal integration, next is forward integration, next is vertical integration, and the last one is backward integration. Let's talk about horizontal integration. This is a competitive strategy that can create economies of scale, increase market power over distributors and suppliers, and also it improves products differentiation and helps business expand their markets or enter a new market. Example, BMW company car and Ducati brand of motorcycle. They set up a completely new company, legally independent, and both companies give the resources to the new founded venture, and development and production identical. The main aim is cutting down the cost. Next is forward integration. This is a strategy that involves expanding a company activities to include the direct distribution of its products. Example, a farmer who directly sells his crops at a local grocery store rather than to a distribution center that controls the placement of foodstuff to a various supermarkets. Next is the vertical integration. This is a strategy where companies expand their business into their production chain. It also involves the acquisition of key components of the supply chain that the company has previously contracted for. Example is the McDonald's. McDonald's has a branch, and the McDonald's company is the one who supply the main dish and the ingredients of its specific branch. The last one is the backward integration. This is a kind of form of vertical integration in which a company expands its rule to fulfill tasks firmly completed by business up the supply chain. In other words, backward integration is when by another company that supplies the production. The best example of this is a bakery that purchases a wheat processor or a wheat farm. In this scenario, a retail supplier is purchasing one of its manufacturers, therefore cutting out the intermediary and hindering the competition.
Example of market integration. So the first one is the horizontal integration. So horizontal integration aims to acquire a similar company in the same industry, expanding company's market, increasing market power, increasing product or service differentiation, and lowering competition. The example of it is the Land Bank and the UCPB merge, SM and To Go Incorporation, and the PLDT and the Globe. So the next one is the vertical integration. So the vertical integration aims to strengthening company's supply chain, lowering production costs, capturing upstream or downstream profits, and gaining access to new distribution channels. So the best example of it is the Netflix. So let's come to the conglomeration. So the best example of conglomeration is the Facebook. So Facebook has access to Messenger, Instagram, and WhatsApp. So Facebook is the best example of conglomeration.
Good day everyone, so I am Tech Cadet Brian Yombro. So I will be presenting the topic effects of market integration. So the following effects are what I have found on the internet which I have researched. So the first effect is that the producers and consumers both benefited. Although welfare benefits were negatively related to the size of the nation and positively correlated with the degree of trade openness. We have concluded that the welfare gain from the global market integration in the so-called long 19th century were comparable to the significant portion of economic development. So the second one is an increase in economic growth and the degree of technology will strengthen. The favorable impact of market integration on carbon emission and increase in the market integration will diminish its impact on emission of greenhouse gases. So this effect has a great or has a positive effect for our environment because the less greenhouse gases, the less destruction or it has lessened the negative effect for our environment. So the third one is decreases the cost of trade, expand the availability of goods and services, and boost the purchasing power of consumers in a member country. Trade liberation, encourage market expansion, technological sharing, and international investment, all of which increases employment prospect. So it has also a great effect for us because the employment rate will increase, sharing of technology, encourage market expansion. We have will be gaining more uh, items that we have not seen in our country, and also the decrease of cost of trading, so which is a good, and availability of goods and services. The fourth one is an increase of industrial and competitiveness, as well as the improved employment prospect that lead to a reduction in the local poverty. So the industrialization and the competitive, due to those, the there will be more employment rate to gain due to the need of manpower. So it will reduce the local poverty of the area of those industrialization. And lastly, what I have searched on the internet, market integration increases transactions, costs in the community, which increase the demand for organizing to reduce the costs, both positive and negative. Selected incentives decrease due to the increased openness of community, and this further reduce both the demand for and supply for the community organization. So there will be always a positive and negative effect of market integration. There will be an increase and there will be a decrease, which also the balance of it.
What's up everybody, it's Decadent Nocero Gilbertchan and I'm here to discuss about the advantages and disadvantages of market integrations. So let's start. First, let's talk about types of market integrations. There are three basic kinds of market integrations, which is the horizontal integration, vertical integration, and conglomeration. So first, let's talk about the horizontal integration. So horizontal integration, this occurs when a firm or agency gains control of other firms or agencies performing similar marketing functions at the same level in the marketing sequence. In this type of integration, some marketing agencies combine to form a union with a view to reducing their effective number and the extent of actual competition in the market. It is advantageous for the members who join the group. So next, let's talk about the advantages of horizontal integrations. These are lower costs, higher efficiencies, increased differentiation, increased market power, reduced competition, access to new market, economics of scales, economics of scope, and international trade. And the disadvantages of horizontal integration is destroyed value, legal repercussions, and reduced flexibility. Next, let's talk about the vertical integration. Vertical integration, this occurs when a firm performs more than one activity in the sequence of the marketing process. It is a linking together of two or more functions in the marketing process within a single firm or under a single ownership. This type of integration makes it possible to exercise control over both quality and quantity of the product from the beginning of the production process till the production is ready for the consumer. It also reduces the number of middlemen in the marketing channel. So there are three types of vertical integrations. These are forward integration, backward integration, and balanced vertical integration. So let's talk about the forward integration. Forward integration is a firm assumes another function of marketing which is closer to the consumption function. It is a case of forward integration. Example, wholesaler is assuming the function of retailing. And let's talk about next is the backward integration. This involves ownership or combination of sources of supply. Like example, when a processing firm assumes the function of assembling or purchasing the product or produced from the villages. Next is the balanced vertical integration. The third type of vertical integration is a combination of the backward and the forward vertical integration. So next, let's talk about the advantages of the vertical integration.
It allows you to invest in assets that are highly specialized. It gives you more control over your business. It allows for positive differentiation. It requires lower cost of transaction. It offers more cost control. It ensures a high level of certainty when it comes to quality, and it provides more competitive advantages. And here are the disadvantages of vertical integration. It can capacity balancing problems, can bring about more difficulties, can result in decreased flexibility, and it can create some barriers to market entry, can cause confusion within a business. It requires a huge amount of money, and it makes things more difficult. So lastly, let's talk about the conglomeration. So conglomeration is a combination of agencies or activities not directly related to each other. May, when it operates under the unified management, be termed a conglomeration. So these are the advantages of conglomerations. First is diversification business, gains synergies, utilization of excess cash, improves customer base, utilization of human resources, economies of scale. Lastly, the disadvantages of conglomeration: no past experience, shift in focus, complication, and lastly, governance issues. And that's all.
Good day everyone. In this slide, I'll going to discuss about the contribution of market integration in globalization. Market integration, often known as globalization, is the blending of various markets, including those for commodities, services, money, labor, data, and information. People, companies, and economies are more integrated and interconnected than ever before. This helps facilitates connections, which leads to specialization, innovation, and economic progress. Through these connections, economies benefit from the knowledge and experience of others and learn how to replicate or adapt ideas for their own needs. Entrepreneurs have visualized the global market integration in the thinking of opportunities, while consumers have visualized the global market integration in their desire to have everything, everywhere, and at any time. The contribution of the imagined global market integration is the sea of unlimited possibility for all the entrepreneurs everywhere on the planet, and the opportunity for all the consumers all over the world to enjoy the value of these entrepreneurs' creation. Without market integration, the world would never be at the place where it is today, for the good and the bad. The good side is that we managed to provide the most of the people on the planet with the standard of living they enjoy, and the downside of this achievement is the strain we have to put on the planet and the environment. Market integration is essential to the more general process of globalization, insofar as it represents the globalization, or at least wider regionalization, of markets for goods and services. As the market expands geographically, the availability of the transportation and communication technologies, the incentives to further develop those technological capabilities increases, and non-economic aspects of globalization brings people in different regions of the globe into closer contact. You can market your company internationally by utilizing global marketing. Additionally, it enables expanded cross-sector, cross-region, and cross-national collaboration. It can boost your brand's competitiveness and help you draw in new investors and clients. The purpose is to make it easier for people to get a fair chance at market valuables that all the others seem to have. It is smarter and more profitable the more global any business's market can stretch.
Degree of market integration. We define the degree of integration between locations that belong to the same market as the reaction time to remove disequilibria. A measure of reaction time that is commonly used in the literature are impulse response functions. Structure of integrated marketing communications relies heavily on aligning 5 levels of integration to further strengthen a company's communication with consumers. These 5 levels of integration include horizontal integration, vertical integration, data integration, internal integration, and external integration. Horizontal integration strives to link both marketing and business communication initiatives. Vertical integration works to ensure that marketing communications reflects and supports corporate interests. Data integration refers to the mutual sharing of marketing and communication information between company departments. Internal integration aspires to keep all employers up to date regarding current trends and impending changes in marketing and communication techniques. External integration attempts to make external partners in marketing to maintain consistent with a company message. Degrees in integrated marketing communication. Although integrated marketing communication is not a career but a concept, students that are interested in working in this field can find academic programs that will help them gain better insight into its complexities. Students that enroll in one of these programs will benefit by taking core courses that include marketing and finance, statistics and marketing research, marketing management, consumer insight, communication skills and persuasive messages, strategic process, media economics, and technology armed with formal education integrated marketing communications. Professionals have the advantage of pursuing a wide range of occupations. For instance, Ithaca College, Ithaca, New York, which offers a Bachelor of Science in Integrated Marketing Communications program, suggests that IMC degree holders could explore career options as advertising, account executive, art directors, copywriters, media buyers, media planners, account planners, public relations, executives, event planners, media relations specialists, sales executives, and research analysts.
This is Kadich Sneros Charito. I'm discussing the measurement of market integration. So, the measurement of assessment or the next of market integration, it is for the promotion of appropriate prices for increasing the efficiency of marketing process. So, from the word measure, dili magawa nimo kung ma-decreasing bang markets or ma-increasing. So, muna yung pasabot sa the measure of assessment of integration. So, the measurement of market integration may be attempted two levels. So, there are two levels. First is integration among firms of a market. Second is the integration among spatially separated markets. Measurement of market integration. So, we develop a measurement theory of market integration based on two notions of the integration markets. Two markets cannot be perfectly integrated in sense if one construct a portion, one from each market, that have identical payouts and different prices. So, nasa kalahian ng di sila parehong prices na lain. In this case, the low price is violated across the market. So, validated siya sa markets. They cannot be integrated in strong sense if they are cross-market average opportunities. To measure markets integration are developed respectively pricing the nation. So, dapat ma-develop siya ang market integration para ma-average ang opportunities and respectively reflecting those nation. The strong integration measure is defined to be the minimum distance between the respective assets. Non-negative stochastic discount factors of two markets, and it reflects the extent that average profits are possible between the markets. The measurement theory can apply this market the integration without relying on a parametric asset pricing models. In economics, there are situations in which separate markets of the same product become one single market. For example, when an import tax in one of market is removed, it has long been recognized that market integration is far more efficiency than firm integration. So, meaning to say, Mr. is defined to minimum. So, nagkuha na siya minimum set sa non-negative stochastic discount factors of two markets. And it can, the market is, para which kanang ma-separate kani siya to become a single market and makuha niyang situation.
Have spoken firmly, and we agree. Some или даже взорвать эти мосты UN, будет асимметрично.
Good day everyone, I'm Decadex from John Paul. I'm going to present the Global Interstate System. Let me start with its definition. The global interstate system. It is the whole system of human interactions. The modern world system is structured politically as an interstate system. The word itself, interstate, is the relation of each state when we say inter. It has something to do with each other's, that's why global interstate system refers to the relationship of countries globally around the world. In addition, it is a financial institution that extends financial assistance through loans to countries. Some of the selected institutions associated with world trade includes World Bank Group. Therefore, I inferred that the global interstate system is also part of the structures of globalization because the international organization exists in order to facilitate their interactions. Some examples of organizations which indulge in global interstate systems are International Development Association and also International Finance Corporation. The International Development Association provides loans to reduce inequalities and improve people's conditions and economic growth. And the International Finance Corporation provides loans to private sector to create markets that open up opportunities for all. I conclude that the global interstate systems explains the effort of different countries and governments all over the world to have cooperation and collaboration. That's all. Thank you.
So, good day. I'm here to discuss the international civilization, empire, internationalism, and the crisis of the mid-20th century. International systems are based on European civilization, heritage of customs, norms, ethical values, beliefs, systems. Belligerent occupation. The Ottomans and the Crimean War. INTLO chose to apply only Christian states. Europeans regarded the Ottomans as not fully civilized. Europeans took over some parts of the empire to make their own and to make them civilized. Victorian international law divided the world according to the standard of civilizations. Post-World War internationalism. United States was now considered a European power or a major superpower like Britain. Monroe Doctrine was finally recognized by European states. Japan stood up against the identification of 19th century civilization that is allied with Christendom following the events of Russo-Japanese War. League of Nations 1920. American President Woodrow Wilson intended the League of Nations to be the primary body of new style of international relations based on the cooperation of all of the nations of the world. The League of Nations first met in November 1920. 42 nations were represented at this first meeting. Notably absent were Germany, Russia, and the United States. Germany, identified as the aggressor in World War I, was barred from admissions at first and amended in 1926. Russia, now the Soviet Union, was not invited to join the League due to the radical policies of the new communist government. The Soviet Union finally became a member of the League in 1935. So why do League of Nations fail? The fail of the League of Nations was one of the main reasons for the outbreak of war. The Manchurian Crisis 1931 to 1933 followed the Marklyn incident in which Japanese rail tracks were destroyed in the explosion. The Abyssinia Crisis was an international crisis in 1935 originating in what we call the Walwal incident in the ongoing conflict between the Kingdom of Italy and the Empire of Ethiopia, then commonly known as the Abyssinia. The League of Nations ruled against Italy and voted for economic sanctions, but they were never fully appealed.
Whoa.